Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to a bright and sunny morning. It is absolutely bright and visually impairingly sunny. It is amazing. In the month of April, the temperatures are hitting 44 degrees centigrade. It's highly unheard of, even in the Indian subcontinent. But we can't do much. And in this sweltering heat, what can we get you? So we can get you a month of cool authors. They are young, they are vibrant, they are energetic, and they are cool as cucumber. So for the entire month, we will be getting you interviews, podcast with 4 young authors who have been self-published and who are very, very different from what you know. The first in the list and with us today is Megha.
Hi, thank you for having me on board. It has been a pleasure and surely I was looking forward to it.
So Megha, let's talk about your journey. You are a real path breaker. You write, you show it to your friends, parents maybe, all approve, but then also we lack the courage or the confidence to take it
That's
forward.
true. Yeah.
How did you cross that bridge? Is it easy? Is it not?
It's not at all easy when you have someone who can give you feedback. You're always afraid, like, okay, I know I wrote this thing, keeping certain things in my mind, but the reader might not think of that. So I started writing, and why did I do it? That's the question. Of course, that was a question to me as well. Why am I doing writing? So I was a big time reader when I was a kid. Let's just say I was in grade 6th, and I would just sit in my library all day long reading Agatha Christie. That's the first, that's how I got addicted to reading books. Before that, I was reading Famous Five, Hardy Boys, but those kinds of books don't give you the real hook. You're like reading, and you don't even have anyone to discuss those books because they were like, everyone was not reading them because those were the lame categories of the books. That's how I spent my childhood. Yeah, so then I started picking up a different genre that would be crime fiction. So yeah, my librarian was, you are not supposed to read this genre. That's the genre children are not supposed to read. I was like, I am in 6th grade. I know what I can read and understand. So just let me read it. She wouldn't give me the book. I had to, obviously, you know what kids do in library. So yeah, under my coat, I would take it, bring it out to my class and then read it. So that's how I started reading, and crime was the best genre that I discovered at that time. And awesome books. I finished Agatha Christie when I was in 7th grade. Like 1 year it took me. Agatha Christie's novel I finished each of them. Then I decided to shift my genre, and then when I was hopping on genre to genre, then I thought that if these guys can write, I can also write something. So I wouldn't say I was perfect at that time, but yeah, reading made me write, and because I used to read a lot, I started writing thinking that I would write a lot. But no, that didn't turn out to be true. Whenever I would sit down and write, I would blank out, obviously, because I would have this FOMO that, oh my god, these guys are so amazing, and what do I have? Just a blank page and a couple of lines starting with, it was a sunny day, it was a good evening, and something like that. Always starting with the weather. So yeah, that was a terrible starting. Then I shifted to poems. I would read Pablo Neruda and all. Those books and poems were in our syllabus also. And I would steal the lines from the famous author's poems. And then when I would give that to someone to read, could you please give me a feedback on my writing, please? So then they would say, dude, that's a line from someone's poem. You can't steal that. But I was just too naive to understand that I can't steal anyone's life. But then, yeah. So surely I started working on writing since then. So that has been it. And that's how I landed up writing. But before it was reading. So that's
well, Megha. When I called you a path breaker, I didn't really realize how much breaking in you've actually done.
That's true.
That's actually amazing. But okay. So now that we know that you read quite a bit, who do you think is your favorite author?
Well, if you ask me this question in this day and age, I have a zillion of authors who I totally admire. I I don't generally read them a lot. I mean, I've had a couple of list of famous authors, yet my favorite. So I can't give you names, but surely it depends on genres. Like if I am into crime, I love Agatha Christie. For a while it has been Agatha Christie, then Paulo Coelho, then Ray Bradbury. Then I would jump into self-help, then it was David Schwartz. So it just goes on and on. That's how it has been.
Okay, that's fair, I guess. But why writing? Writing is slow. It's against the flow of time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It needs thinking. It has to be of a particular quality, presentation, and yet you still picked on writing. So, what was the inspiration?
I was in my college and I began writing like a couple of short stories. So that time I didn't have any inspiration other than the books that I would read. So I would say all those genres at that time. I hadn't stepped into self-help, so it was purely fiction. It was fiction crime that I would read. And I started blogging. I was in second year of my college, something like that. So when my blog was out, everyone was out there to read, and I was like, cool, that's awesome, I'm getting some attention, so let's use that. And I knew it's gonna take patience, a lot of patience. I'm not gonna always receive a positive feedback. It has to be, but majorly it was positive, so that gave me a nudge, like I should go and get something out under my name, and it has to be a book. Come on, I'm just over this, that I would be writing. And meanwhile I also stepped into freelancing, so that was also a bonus for me. I was writing a lot back then, so all these things inspired me because I had clients at that time, and at that age you would just see you can work so much, why not just why holding yourself back? So that's how I was like, let's publish something under my name, and then came a book.
Well, girl, you seem to have been on the roll. But there is just the most important question which I need to ask you now. Is self-publishing really done by the self?
It is a daunting process, yes, and it is self-done. Yeah, I mean, you have to take care of everything from writing till you get it out in the market, because self-publishers, well, that's how the name wraps itself, like self-publishing. So I had to write, rewrite, I mean, millions of drafts, and then I had to proofread myself. There was no one to help me out, because that's how you have to do it in self-publishing. And then you would have to search all these self-publishing platforms that are out there and are willing to do it in less time, because that was my priority. I was like, I have to do this ASAP. I need to, because for me it's like, if I set my mind on something, I have to finish it 1 month, 2 months, that's all I take. So in 1 month I had to finish everything, because it's a short story that I started out with. So in 1 month I did all the drafting, proofreading, everything, finalizing from book cover to like everything, book structure and all. So then I reached out to the publishing platforms out there, and I pointed out the free ones, like the ones who are doing this pro bono basis. So yeah, so a couple of platforms I discovered. Amazon, I did it myself. Barnes and Noble, I did it myself. And other platforms, like there's just too many. So that's how it has been, and it's absolutely, you have to take care of everything. Nobody is just there. You have to submit the manuscript, the book cover, everything. You have to tell them that I wanted this size, this spine, and they'll just publish it, and they'll notify you that your book is ready, and these are the links. And so yeah, you're on your own. You have to market your book now. I'm like, okay, that also I have to do now? That's just too much burden on me. I'm the one who's writing the book, I'm the one who's marketing it. And it would take me nights and nights to plan the perfect announcements for the social media, for my friends, so that I ask them, guys, can you please love and support this? This I have done this entirely, it's on me. So can you please help me out supporting my work? So that's how it is.
So are you rich yet?
I am not. I am not. Yeah, that's the question you should know. I'm not rich. I wish I was.
It's okay. We'll get there. Yeah. We get there.
Sure.
Okay. Now moving on to your books. So without giving us any spoilers, what are the plots about, and what kind of genre have you been writing about? Just give us some.
Sure. So the first book, it's a novelette. It's very short, and that's a fiction that I don't exactly had an idea how I was gonna go about it, but I had the ending in mind, and that's how I write. I plan the ending, I write it down, everything, and then I work backwards. That's how I work. I prepare the ending and then I move forward. So that one was a fiction, and it is based on afterlife. And anything I would say would be a spoiler because that's a very short story. So it's based on afterlife and how a married couple actually encounters a lot of things, like in the afterlife, in the present life. And I really didn't want to call it romance, but because I don't read romance and I don't know how to write romance. Someone who's not reading romance wouldn't know how to write romance. But a tinge of romance is there because one of my readers said, "Oh, it's so overwhelming." I was like, "Yeah, okay then, I can write romance someday, not now." So so that was the first one, and second one is the poetry collection. So lots of emotions attached, lots of different perspectives I have in that.
So, Megha, tell me, did you at any point in time feel that this book is not getting done?
Yeah, I did. It was in Corals, that's my poetry collection. So I had a few poetries that I had sent out to magazine publishers also, and then two poems. Okay, one of that was very close to my heart because I wrote it in the situations where there's climate change, there's feminism, there's a lot of things. I don't know why we are not focusing on that. So that was the poem that I sent out to my friends, and it was so close to my heart when I sent it out to the newsletters or publishing platforms. Just to get it in any of their issues. I didn't hear from them. I didn't hear back from them at any point of time. And I was like, okay, that's not fair. I mean, that's a good piece. I know it. I've written it. Okay. Yeah, that has been a thing where I thought I should stop writing poetries because I think I'm not going anywhere with it. But friends are always there to lift you up. Readers are always there to lift you up. So that's how I took a break from writing. That was the point, And then I was like, okay, no, I have some good poems. At least I like them and my readers like them. So why not just put them all together into a poetry collection? Let's see where this goes. And thankfully, when I put it out, a lot of people actually liked it. From the starting, like the cover itself is very good. One of my friends designed it. The poems and everything, they're relatable. And that's how I write. I write simple stuff so that everyone can relate.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think my writing got killed by grammar. And it is stone dead because of the punctuation. I hope it doesn't happen to any of the others. But nevertheless, okay, so Megha, basically Bookbibuli is more about youngsters. So let's get to a personal question. How many marks did you score in English language? Is it required that you have to be good with the language before you can be an author?
I wish I could say that English language is important and you need to score marks, but that's a no. It's a firm no. You don't need good marks in English because I didn't get any. It would hurt you, of course, because you would say, I'm cool in English, my grammar is cool, my punctuation, that's a level awesome because I chat using punctuations. So, it would hurt you, but it's not a requirement. Definitely not a requirement.
I think you must have been asked this question a lot of times. Who do you think would be your ideal audience? When would you think of yourself as a successful author if you have this set of audience? I would like to play the devil's advocate and I'd like to know who do you think should not read your books?
Yeah, that's a toughie because I think that I write stuff for... Obviously, there's a age factor that plays while you are putting your books out there. So I think, before I write, I don't think I consider that factor because I write very simple. It has always been very, very simple for everyone to relate. But maybe I might be missing on something. So that's...
Okay, one last question.
Sure.
What do you think about Bookbibuli?
It's a great platform. I like it. I was very much on board when I got to know that Bookbibuli is going to offer kids a lot of guidance. Well, I would say a lot of guidance because there are just so many parameters that you need to consider. And for parents who don't like to indulge so much in reading, or maybe because people are busy these days, parents are also busy. So for them, I think it's a perfect way to for their kids to start their reading journey. I think it would sort out things better for the kids now.
Thank you so much, Megha. It has been wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was lovely to talk to you. Thank you again.
The universe has enough space for all the stories. There is no rivalry. Every story stands on its own. There is no World Cup tournament happening on this. In fact, that is the reason why we brought you all these young authors who you'll meet over the course of this month, who have made the world a richer place, a better place through the magic of their words. Keep listening to Bookbibuli on every Friday. Thank you so much.